Let's talk about a couple of starts and sits heading into week 9. So my first start of the week is Josh Jacobs. Jacobs is surprisingly the RB9 in PPR this year, but since week 4, he's been the RB5, and in 5 out of the last 6 games, he's gone for at least 80 scrimmage yards. He hasn't been the most efficient this year, averaging right around 3 yards per carry, which is a big drop off from last year when he averaged around 4.9 yards per carry. But I think the tide is about to turn. This week he gets the Giants, who allow the 4th highest yard per carry average with 4.8. And ironically enough, the Giants are tied with the Raiders for the 4th most rushing touchdowns allowed with 10. So I can see Jacobs hitting pay dirt this week. I also really like that Aiden O'Connell will be starting this week. I have to think that the Raiders are going to take pressure off the rookie by running the ball a little bit more. And also, given that Josh McDaniels was fired this week, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Raiders come out motivated with something to prove. My next start of the week is Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid has been the tight end 6 over the last 2 weeks, catching 13 of 15 targets, going for 140 yards and a touchdown. And with Dawson Knox being placed on IR officially last week, I think Kincaid is set up for success for the next 3 weeks. He's already demonstrated great chemistry with Josh Allen, and this week he gets the Bengals, who allow the most fantasy points per game to tight ends with 12.8. Vegas has the over-under for this game at 49.5, so I'm anticipating a high-scoring affair. It would not be surprising to see Kincaid score or get 7 to 8 targets again. Moving over to sits, my first sit of the week is Chuba Hubbard. While Chuba Hubbard did get some good news this week and was named the official starter by Frank Reich, I'm not sure how much weight that carries. For the year, he's only averaged 3.9 yards per carry and only 5.7 yards per catch. And I have to think that Miles Sanders is still going to have a role on this team. It would not be surprising to see Hubbard and Sanders split the early down work and for Raheem Blackshear to be sprinkled in on third downs. Hubbard only has 1 touchdown on the year, and even though he has a good matchup this week against the Colts, who've allowed the most touchdowns on the ground with 15, they've only allowed 3.9 yards per carry. So unless Hubbard's able to score, it could be tough for him to find room in between the tackles. At this point, I have him as a volume-based low-end RB2/high-end RB3, but even that may be a little bit optimistic. My last sit of the week is Christian Watson. Christian Watson has been a really big letdown this year. He's only averaged around 3 catches per game, 44 receiving yards per game, and only has 1 touchdown on the year. He started off the year on the wrong foot, nursing a hamstring injury, and he just does not look like the same player he was last year. Some of that is probably attributed to Jordan Love, who's had a really bad 5-game stretch, posting a 5 to 8 touchdown interception ratio over that time span. But even then, it seems like Watson is playing behind Romeo Doubs and even Jaden Reed at times. He's really just become a deep threat who's become kind of boom or bust, but we've yet to have a boom game, so until we do, I think it's tough to trust him in your lineups. It doesn't help that he gets a Rams defense this week that allows the 13th fewest passing yards per game with around 219, so if you have another option, I would strongly consider it. Those are a couple of starts and sits heading into week 9. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know who you think we should start or sit in the comments below.